Alright guys, how's it going? It is Tuesday, the 24th of July 2018, and you're watching KopTalk.tv. So it looks like the big clear out is about to begin at Anfield. I'm sure you've been following reports the last couple of days talking about the players that, surplus the requirements, people that we want to get rid of. Mignolet being one of them. We've seen Ward go already, which is disappointing, I think, Karius is number 2. I don't know. We don't want another debate about Karius, do we? To the likes of Origi, Solanke, Ings. Some people are suggesting that maybe we need to make some room in midfield. We've got players like Markovic, who'll probably be loaned out and stuff. But it looks like they're trying to, generate some revenue from sales, which is obviously what we want to do with players that are no longer needed. What do you guys think about Solanke and Origi in particular? Me, I like Danny Ings. I think you guys know that I like Danny Ings. I think he's done for. I don't think he's got an opportunity, really. Obviously it depends whether someone comes in for these types of players. There was a rumour last year that Danny Ings had... he'd had some problems, hadn't he, with a chick and that, I don't want to get into it because like personal lives of players and things, I don't really think is up for discussion unless it affects team performances and things like that. Like if a player is playing really bad, I think sometimes it's good to say, well, you know why, don't you? Because, do you know what I mean? So, there was no suggestion of any wrongdoing between him and his partner at the time or anything like that. But there were suggestions that maybe he was like, living it large a little bit, trying to get on with his life. I don't know if that's true. It's just what you see online, and but I like him. I really like him, and I'm gutted that he got injured and suffered that setback. Since setbacks plural, since he came to Liverpool. I remember when he burst into the team, and he was scoring, and I was like, God, he reminded me of like an old school Liverpool player, determined player. Like a John Aldridge or something like that, someone that would like run through a brick wall for the club, and it was nice to see. And it's quite funny because some of you may remember when we were first linked with him, I made a video putting my head in an oven. It was an electric oven, so it didn't work. But my point at the time was, I think that was around when we'd lost Suarez or something. I can't remember, it's years ago now. But I was like, please, tell me that this is not the answer. What I meant by that, right, was I hope there's going to be further recruitment of strikers, forward players or whatever at the time. It wasn't just like, oh, he's shit. It was like, please tell me there's going to be more than this, because I can't handle it, hence putting my head in the oven. But I like him, but I don't think he's got a chance at Liverpool. And I think some fans have been a bit mean with him, to be honest. So I think that they forget, he was doing pretty well before he got cropped. But that's the past, So, what's happening with all the strikers? So Danny Ings is available, yeah? I believe that Sturridge is available, although we've seen a lot of PR and positivity in relation to him over the last week maybe. Don't fall for it. How many times have we been here with him before? When they say things, like when you read reports saying, oh, Klopp's going to give him a chance, that's because he ain't got no choice, because no one's paying the sort of money that we want for him. They can't get rid. I think they've tried to get rid of Sturridge for years, and we just know. We all know that he's got quality. That he's got quality, and he would be, if he was fit, he would be a fantastic player to have in the squad. But you just know he's going to get cropped or something, don't you? Do you know what I mean? So that's them two, and then you've got Solanke, right, and then Origi. Now Origi's never done anything for me, right? When he scored a couple of goals, I remember a while back, people were like, there you go, you see, what a fucking player. And it's like, hang on a minute, that's what he's supposed to do, So I never had faith in him, yeah. And I remember not long after we'd had him, I remember. Based on the money that we paid for him, obviously the transfer fees were different back then to the inflated prices now. And I remember Harry Redknapp saying, this Liverpool have signed this kid, they're paying a lot of money for a kid. He should be delivering. He's an international. He's all that. So, and I was like, yes, Harry. Someone agrees with me. But I've never liked him. But maybe you shouldn't say like. I mean, rated him. That's better. All right. So I don't know anything about his character. And then we got Solanke, didn't we? you know, that looked a bit more like, you know, well, he could do. But he's been fucking wank as well, hasn't he? You know, both of them players are very similar. If you had to pick one, who would you pick? I'd go for Solanke, mate. But when you look at it, the whole strike, right, bar Firmino, right, and then I know there's other players that contribute to the goals. But when you look at it, you think Ings, he's quite injury prone, and he possibly will be on his way if they can get a deal sorted. Sturridge, as much as I'd love him to be delivering week in, week out, I can't see it happening. They're trying to get rid of him. They've tried to get rid of him. They can't get rid of him, so they're doing all the, oh, he's an option and all that. Solanke available. Origi available. So all these strikers are available. I mean, they won't let them all go, obviously, but, you know, is there anybody that we could bring in to, like, offer a bit more? Would you like to see, you know, another option brought in? A proper option, not just some kid. You know, so, I mean, if that happens to Firmino, or, you know, imagine if you had Firmino and Salah injured at the same time. What would we do then? Yeah, it's a strange one, you know. You don't see us really linked, do you, with a lot of strikers and all that. It's always midfield players, isn't it? Attacking midfield players. It's kind of weird this summer how the speculation has been, really. Is the business concluded? I don't think it's concluded. I think there's still opportunities to do things myself. But Liverpool play it very cool. They do play it very cool, but usually you see a lot of speculation and event. I know a lot of speculation is, you know, nonsense, and, you know, for every signing that you do actually, I was going to say pull off, I don't want to say that, for every signing that you do actually secure, you've maybe had 50 players linked to something like that. So, you know, and a lot of people are like, oh, I don't believe what's in the press, but there's, you know, a lot of it is true. You know, they do go after a lot of players to try and find out who's available, will it work and all that. I think you know all that. But do you not think it's been a bit quiet with that respect? I know we've done, you know, plenty of recruitment, and, you know, we've made progress prior to the the World Cup, and we've made progress following the World Cup. But for me personally, and I've done this for 20 years now, just I like to remind you of that every now and then. You know, for me, with 20 years experience of following all this stuff, and I think this is the quietest it's ever been in terms of transfer speculation. Yet we've made some good progress, you know, and in some ways out of the blue. And it's like, I don't believe in this like Melwood lockdown. You know, they're not telling anyone anything. But I think there could be a bit of an element of truth in some of that. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Because I mean, a couple of signings have come out of the blue. You know, and things move very fast. I think that the benefit to having people from outside Liverpool involved in these negotiations and the ownership and things like that is that there isn't as much chatter as there used to be back in the day. That's why I don't believe in this, oh, Melwood's on lockdown. I mean, you hear that sometimes, and you know that there's sometimes I do put little memos around, like, keep your fucking gob shut on that. But, you know, when you think about it, when you have a predominantly Liverpool-based staff in executive positions, for example, you know, or even on the coaching staff or the ownership or whatever, people talk. They go out on the weekend, they're talking, you know, what's happening, you know, and this is, without even intentionally leaking news or spreading news, they can soon give something away. And if you think about it, we've got foreign owners, we've got foreign coach, we've got foreign everything, really, or what I would prefer to say, outsiders that are involved in a lot of these things. And I think that's why we see less leaks from Liverpool Football Club now, unless you tend to see leaks when you need help, and that's when you start to see them come through the Liverpool Echo maybe first, and then that clique of journalists in the mainstream media, the national media. But I can't help but think that they haven't really. When you think about that clique of journalists, local and national combined, there's probably about, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 of them, I'm not sure really off the top of my head, I can't think, but we all know the names, I think, of the people that we would listen to. They're very quiet, aren't they, these days? They're not saying a lot, are they? You know, normally they'll go on for months about a particular player, and you think, well, there's got to be something in that. But they're very, very quiet. It suggests to me a change in the way that Liverpool are doing things, you know. Anyway, I specifically want to know your thoughts about strikers, to be honest. You know, do you think our business is done? I don't think it's done. We're obviously going to see some outgoings. And, you know, I'm sure that a lot of you, you know, wonder about that Theke. I like to call him Theke. Nabil Theke. I spoke about him yesterday on dkb.tv if you want to support me over there. Yeah. I don't know. I suppose it's been a while since, you know, we've collectively discussed in the comments section the sort of players that we would now like to recruit. So I'm sort of asking you guys, how do you feel about the squad? You know, is there certain players that you would like to see recruited? And if so, name them. What do you think will happen? So, I mean, you can put forward what you'd like to happen and what you think would happen. What do you think about the striker situation? I want to know what you think about Daniel Sturridge, for example. I want to know what you think about Origi and Solanke. Is Ings finally going? I mean, you know, one of these players is valued at £27 million. Origi, I think he's valued at £27 million. Who in the right mind would pay £27 million for him? So I mean, yeah, you can say, well, the market is, you know, grossly inflated now, but 27 million is fucking rubbish. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'd just like to see his. I don't know. I'd just like to see further additions. But I guess, you know, this is what we always want, isn't it? Would we ever be happy and content? Will we ever be happy and content? You see the midfield additions, it's like, yeah, that's great. You know, we've seen the defence strengthened in the centre-back position. We've seen the goalkeeper strengthened. But then you look at other areas. I can think of other areas in a team and I think, oh, you know what I mean? Like attack. It does concern me, the striking options. It really does. So that's somewhere that I'd like to prioritise. And then there's players at the club that you think, how are they still there? I mean, how is Moreno still at Liverpool? You know what I'm saying, guys? I mean, I don't think Klopp wants to get rid of all these players. I think this is like, come on, you know what I mean? We've just splashed a fortune on Alisson, like, so let's have a bit of, you know. But they've already got money back from Ward, haven't they? You know, so I mean, it's only a bit, but it all adds up. So, general musings, waffling on, Rafa, yeah, for sure, about things. So I just welcome your thoughts, really. All right, yeah, all right, guys. I love you, and I'll speak to you real soon. I hope. All right, hooray.